So I did not know the browser could do that. That's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about some cool and exotic browser APIs which are fun to use, but are not necessarily well known to every developer. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Bellen. I'm from Belgium, and I work as a software engineer at Made with Love, a small app development company. Yeah, that's the name of my company, of our company. You can find me online as Samdego on GitHub, Twitter, everything you can imagine. I would probably be called Samdego. I really like cats. I really like cats. This is my cat. I don't know if you can see her. I had to put her in here. Her name is Poes, which translates to cat. So let's get started. The first API we'll be talking about is a speech API. I have a feeling that the sound drops once in a while. Is that true? We'll wing it. So the speech API. How many of you knew that the browser could actually talk? Can I see some hands? Okay, cool. The rest of you will know this after these few slides happen.
Hi, thanks, James. Did you know the browser could talk? Cool. The web speech API converts text to spoken words. You can even choose my voice. Since I'm a female cat, I'll be talking with a female voice. Meow.
So what do you say? Do we let the cat present this whole thing, or should I take over? I'll do it because otherwise that would be lazy. So yeah, the browser can talk. It has an API which can convert text to speech, and it can talk to you in some ways you can configure. So let's start on, let's see how we can do this. Most modern browsers implement this API, and most modern browsers are Chrome and Firefox. Edge might be able to, I'm not really sure. I'm really bad at keeping up with all the browser implementations. So the first thing you need is a speech synthesizer. You can find it on the window object. I'll just catch this because I'm lazy and synth is much shorter to write than vanilla speech synthesis. And then the second thing you need is a speech utterance, which is basically just an object which contains the text you want to speak, or you want the browser to speak, and some characteristics about how the browser has to say those words. For example, my speech synthesis utterance is going to say, "Hi everybody," and it sounds something like this. I don't know. We first have to pass the utterance to the synthesizer so the browser knows, now I have to speak, now I have to talk, I have to tell these words to the user. And
hi everybody.
It sounds like that. As you might have heard, it's a low male voice, while my cat is female. So I told you that the speech utterance object can contain characteristics about how to pronounce, how to speak to the user. So you can configure that. You can, for example, change the pitch or the rate, but most importantly, you can choose a voice. Every browser implements some kind of voice. Some voices are better in English, some in Spanish, some in there's a whole different kind of languages. But you can also change the gender of that voice. So my cat is female, so it's a female voice. I chose Fiona because I like that voice the best. Cats have a really high voice because they're small animals, so I changed the pitch and raised it a bit. And cats are lazy animals, so I changed the rate, I turned it a bit down so it speaks a little bit slower. And when you do this,
no, this is better. Don't you think?
You have a different voice, which in my opinion suits a cat better than the low male voice, which is the default. So let's recap. You use the synthesizer you can find in the window, you pass a speech utterance to it, you say to that utterance, I want to speak this string, this text, and then you say, I want this voice, or I want to change the pitch, or the rate, and in the end you just pass it along to the synth, say speak, and then it does all the magic for you. That's not really that difficult, is it? Cool. So the browser can speak, but actually the browser can also understand the words you say and translate them back to text, to strings. So let's try this, and I hope it will work. If I press this button, it's going to start listening to what I say. Hi everybody. Cool. As you can see in the green text balloon there, it says hi everybody, which is the browser interpreting the thing I said, hi everybody, and sending me back the text it thinks I said. So yeah, let's see how we can do this. It's important to know that to use this API, you need some internet connection, because the API only partially lives in the browser. It's actually going to send the words you say to a server, a Google server or a Firefox server, which is going to try to analyze the words you said and then send back a guess of what it thinks you said. So you first need to make a speech recognition instance like this. Once you have that, you can configure some parameters like I'm going to talk in English. I don't want intermediate results, otherwise it will keep on sending me results until it's fairly sure that it has the right interpretation of the thing you said. And then you can configure some event handlers like what to do when I have a result or what to do when I have an error. And that's basically all you need to do to make this speech recognition work. You just send the text, Google or Firefox analyzes it, they send you back your result. Also, the result does not only contain the text you said, but it also contains a percentage of how sure that they are correct, that they understood you correctly. And then you listen for a result, or in the worst case, you listen for an error. That's it. The next one is a little bit more common. It's like all these websites these days have these annoying pop-ups like, hey, can I know your location? Where are you? I want to send you some personal things based on your location. That's done with the geolocation API. It's now going to try to guess where we are. And as you can see, it guessed right, because we're in Odessa. And using this data, you can also get a bit more precise, or you can do some other things. Like you see that the arrow is more or less sort of like C hotel, which is where we are. So yeah, to use this API, you first have to get the current position of your geolocation API, which will return some coordinates like a longitude and a latitude, which kind of sucks because I'm not a GPS device and I don't really understand these coordinates. But there are some external APIs that let you convert these coordinates to a more human-friendly way, like the Google Maps API. Oh, first, this is how you use it. You just do navigator.geolocation, get current position. It returns you your position, which are the coordinates. Then, as I said, I think you can use the Google Maps API to convert these coordinates into a more human-friendly way, like the city you are in. It's like this. You can find this in the Google API doc, so you don't really have to read it. I just put it in so I have more code in my slides, because everybody wants more codes in their slides. And as you can see, I asked for the locality, which is Odessa. And then using the Google Maps API, you can of course also show a map of where you are. Oh, looks like my cat figured out we can also send notifications with the web. So let's talk a little bit more about the notification API. I'm going to put this out of view because otherwise it would be blocking. So yeah, a browser can also send notifications to the user when something happens. We first need to ask permission. The browser needs to ask, or your website needs to ask permission to the user, like, hey, can I actually do this? Can I send you some notifications? When you say, of course you can, because you're awesome, you get the permission is granted. And once you have that, all you need to do is create a notification, which is just a new notification instance, and you pass along the title and some optional extra stuff like a body text or an icon. And it looks something like this. As you can see, the title on top, the body under it, and the amazing cat drawing I made next to it. So yeah, that's how you can send some notifications with the web. It's also possible to add some click event handlers to this stuff, like when you click on an event, you can react to it. It's done like this. You just do notification.onClick. It's notification you created earlier for the instance, and then you add some stuff you wanted to do. As you might have noticed, these notifications don't really look like the standard Mac OS notifications, but this will change in the next Chrome, and Firefox already shows them like default browser notifications. So that's going to change. Then, of course, talking about notifications, we also have this thing called push notifications, which is a different kind of notification, whereas that a regular notification gets sent by the front end itself, by the JavaScript, to the browser, while a push notification is going to be sent from a push server to the front end, which will then show it. So when I click on this button, there's actually going to be a request to the server, which will send a push notification back, and that will be something like this. It looks the same, but in the background it looks totally different. So knowing that it does not get sent by the front end, but by a push server, we can also send these push notifications while the browser window is not open. And let's try this. So I'm going to close my presentation, which is a browser, and do a request to a server, and nothing. Oh, cool. And so as you can see, the notification shown is the one I just requested from the server. My window is closed, and still I can get notifications to the user. This is one of the advantages of push notifications. The user does not have to be on your website. You can be browsing any other website. Your window can be closed as long as Chrome or Firefox is running. It will work. So yeah, let me start this back. That's basically one of the cool stuff about push notifications. You can do stuff while the user is not on your website. You can still bother them or harass them or stalk them, like, come to my website, do cool stuff. Yeah, so how do you do this? A push notification can be sent to a service worker. So first you need to register a service worker. Service workers are great. You can do a lot of stuff like intercept network calls, cache stuff offline, but you can also just send notifications. So what you do is you create a service worker in a separate file, as you can see, service worker.js, and you're going to register this. Once you register this, your promise will resolve and you can start doing stuff. The thing you will need is the push manager, which is in charge of listening to all push events coming into, which it receives, and then doing stuff with it. So once your service worker is ready, you're going to wait for it, then when the promise resolves, you're going to get a subscription from your push manager. It says get subscription here in the back. And then when you get a subscription, you can either, you can send that subscription to your push server so it knows, this ID, this subscription belongs to this user. So whenever I need to do something for this user, I have to send this subscription with the push message so it can show up for this user. This is all in your main JavaScript, and then in your service worker, you're just going to listen for a push event. When your push event comes in, you can show a notification. It's a little bit different. You start the registration, show notification, and then show a title or body. You can also just send the title and body in with your push notification, but in terms of just making it easy, I just hard-coded it in this example. So yeah, that's basically how you can show a push notification on the web. The next one is the battery manager API. That's right, your browser can also know the status of your battery. It's a bit stalkery, but still, it's possible. So, as you can see, my browser says that my MacBook is charging and that my battery level is 100%, which, as you can see, is accurate. Now, when I unplug my power cord, it just continues to the next slide, so I don't know why it is quicker, then I just can unplug and plug in my power cord. And when I plug it back in, it goes back to the next slide. So with the battery manager API, you can just listen for changes in your battery status or in your charging status and respond to them. So you use it like this. You do navigator get battery, you get a battery instance, and with that battery instance, you can just get a lot of information like the charging level, how much battery you still have, the percentage, is it charging, yes or no, and how long will it take until my battery is charged or discharged. And then you can also listen to changes in these things with some events that it emits, like level change, charging change, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the battery manager API. The next one is the media recorder API, which basically just records media. It does exactly what it says it does. It lets you record a video or some audio. So yeah, why don't we make a little video from my cat? I will make a video because my cat cannot see you guys, from live here on stage. So, hi cat, see you soon. So, And see you soon. As you see, I just recorded this video now live on stage using nothing but a browser. So that's what the media recording API does. To get started, we have to do get user media, so because we want to get the video, we want to get the microphone input. This can be done through get user media. It's navigated by media devices of get user media. I say I want video, I say I want audio, and then it will return the stream of my video and audio. You can only choose to have video or only have audio. This works perfectly well, but for this example, I wanted everything. So yeah, then once we have the stream, you can just set the source object of a video element, an HTML5 video element. You can set the stream as a source object, and you will see your video, your webcam, straight to that video. That's how I made the little preview before I started recording. Now then, let's talk about the media recorder, because that's what this is about. First, you need to create a new media recorder, which you pass the stream, which you got from the Get User Media API, and then all you need to do is listen for some stuff like, is there data available, or did I stop recording? And you say start. And once you've started recording, it's going to emit some events, like every once in a while it's going to say, hey, I've got some data available, you can do something with this. Or, hey, I stopped, so process your video or your audio. And something you could do in the data available handler is something like this. You have an array, and every time there's data available, you just push it into it. You keep it for later, and once the video stops, you use that array to create a blob, to create basically for a URL from that blob, and you can just pass it along as the source of a video element or an audio element if you just chose to have the audio. So yeah, as you can see in the bottom, I have a video element.source, which is just the basically for encoded video. Cool. The web audio API. I could talk about this one for hours, but I'm not going to because I will be talking about it tomorrow. Please come. So I'm going to just touch on it a little bit. The browser can actually create sounds, create music if you wanted to. It cannot only just play YouTube videos, it can really just create the sounds. So yeah, as you heard, this was a very beautiful sound. Sounded like a boat in the distance or something. But you can also compose a bit more, compose a bit sounds together to make it like a song, like a scale. Sounds a bit sketchy, but it's a scale from C to C or Do to Do. It just depends on how you pronounce it. So this is done by using only the browser again and using the web audio API. So I was told that Nikolai Lysenko is a famous composer from here, so maybe one day I will reach his level. So yeah, how do you use the browser API? You first have to create the audio context, which you will use to create new audio nodes to send your audio to the destination, aka your speakers. This is basically the object that will manage your whole audio stuff. The next thing we need is an oscillator. An oscillator is just something that will create a fixed tone. You can create it from the audio context we created, which appears to not be in my slide, but it's audio context.create oscillator. Speaks for itself. Once you've created the oscillator, you can set the frequency to 440, which is a normal C, I guess, C in the fourth scale from 0. And then you can set the type of a sine wave, which is just a nice sine wave. We have some different waves, like a triangle wave, or a sawtooth wave, or a square wave, which are going to sound a little bit less clean, a little bit more distorted. But yeah, and you say oscillator.start, which will just start your tone. That's it. Once the oscillator is started, or once you created it, all you have to do is connect that oscillator to the destination of your audio context, and this means that you will connect your audio you created, the oscillator, to your speakers, to your monitors, to whatever you want to use to listen to your audio. An audio context also has a built-in clock. because as you know, set timeout or set interval is dependent of your call stack and everything that's happening in your browser. Well, when you create music, you really want to have a clock which is only bothered by your music. You can find it starts when you create a context, and you can exit it by using the audio context of current time, and then schedule nodes based on that current time of your audio context. So yeah, putting everything together, there is it. You can create an audio context, then you can create an oscillator, which is in this slide, and then just configure some parameters like the frequency, the oscillator type, which is signed by default, so actually it's a useless line. And then start it. Once you've started it, you can connect it to the audio context destination, and that's all you need to do to create a sound, not a good sounding sound, but a sound in the browser. The next one is a vibration API. I cannot show you this because my MacBook does not vibrate. But if you have an Android device and you are running Chrome or Firefox, you can go to that URL and it should start vibrating, which you can use in some different ways, I guess, but you can use it to notify a user like something happened on a website. And you can, let's see how you can use this. So, it's on the navigator object again. All you have to do is call navigator.vibrate, say vibrate for 400 milliseconds. That's it. Of course, you want to vibrate SOS or some cool pattern or stuff like that, so you can also, no, you cannot. No. You can also provide an array instead of just number, and then it will be the time that it vibrates, the interval that it pauses, then it vibrates, and so on, so on, so on. So yeah. Then the next one is device orientation. Your browser can also access the data you can get from a gyroscope or accelerometer and do stuff based on it. Unfortunately, my laptop doesn't have it because MacBooks used to have it when they had the hard drive, which was not an SSD. In case your laptop fell, it would block the hard drive from spinning, so it would stop your hard drive from getting broken. But this one has an SSD, so it doesn't work. But if you go to this one, you can use your phone to move the mouse on the screen. I do have a video of this, so maybe I should just show that one. This is a video of my phone, and you cannot see me tilt it, but as you can see, imagine me tilting my phone to some directions, and you can see the mouse move based on how I tilt my phone. Alright, so if you want to do this, go to meow.sambego.be/device orientation, not code, just orientation, and you can try it yourself. So what you need to do this, what you need to do to use this is just listen for a device orientation event broadcasted by your browser. That's it. You will get some information like the alpha, the beta, and the gamma, which the beta is the y-axis, I think, and the gamma is the x-axis, and based on those changes, you can move the mouse around your screen. So let's try everything together then. These days, every phone has its personal assistant, like Google has Google Assistant, and iOS has Siri, or macOS as well. So I have Poes, which is my cat. And I wrote a few tricks, so let's see what it can do.
These are the tricks I've got up my sleeve.
Okay, let's do something really simple. Remind me 1 minute.
I'll remind you in a minute.
Now we have to wait a minute, but in the meantime, let's do some other stuff, like, what's the weather like? It started listening to what I was saying, interpreted what I said, started looking for my location, then got the weather for this location. And as you can see, it's quite hot in here, or outside at least, in here as well. It's 31 degrees Celsius. What else can you do? Show me some news.
Here's some fresh news for you.
You can just listen for something. It thought I need some news, so it showed me some hacker news. And something like let's do something fun.
Hey, look, now you're a cat as well.
So yeah, you have these Snapchat and Instagram these days with all these face filters. You don't really need those apps, you can use a browser for that. Although it thinks that there's a ghost next to me here sometimes. You can turn yourself into a cat by just using one of the few APIs I talked about before, and then use a cool, the reminder popped up a minute later, I guess. So using a cool library, which I forgot the name, it's something, detection, blah, 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 I'll read about it later. You can just detect your face and apply some cat ears to yourself. I don't know if you can do something else.
These are the tricks I've got up my sleeve.
That's about it. What's my battery status? You can guess what it's going to do. It's going to
Here's your battery information.
show you my battery status. The thing is, you can use these browser APIs together to create some cool stuff. You can listen for your input based on your voice. You can let the browser talk back to you. It can tell you some results if things you need. You can show some information about your battery or about anything else you can access. And you can give yourself cat ears, which is the most important one. So yeah. Now, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can view this presentation at meow.subdata.be. Thank you. I think we have time for questions if anybody wants to ask me a super difficult question which I don't know. The guy in the back was first.
Do we get microphone?
I'm coming.
Hi. Thank you very much for your speech. It was very awesome. And I actually have two questions. Let's start one by one.
Okay.
About recognition. The first one about recognition API.
Yeah.
I've used Google Speech API to recognize,
Yeah.
and it's not free. And I want to ask if I will use the browser API to recognize, who will handle this? By Google Speech API? And is it true or not?
You can use this, and Google will actually just use this data on its servers to guess what you're saying. So I'm not sure what they do with it. Nobody knows except Google employees. So yeah, I'm not sure what they do, but you can use it for free as much as you like.
Okay, thank you. Also, can it work in Electron, for example, because it bundles?
That's a good question, and I'm actually not sure. Since Electron runs on Chromium, I would guess that it does work in it, but I have not tried it, so that's some experiment you or I, or later some people can do, and we can find out.
Okay. And the second one about record audio. Can we do some noise cancellation when we record audio or something like this?
You have a filter node, a default filter node, which you can use to filter out some frequencies you don't want, for example. So there's a lot of audio nodes. I'm not going to talk about them, since I will talk about that audio tomorrow. But yeah, there's a lot of audio nodes you can use and combine to filter out your audio to just have the stuff you want to hear. So yeah, it's possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Somebody else have a question?
Come in.
The microphone's coming.
Hello, thanks for speech. I just wanted to ask, can we just make this recognized API work passively? Not by clicking on a button, but listen all the time and
You can make it listen continuously, but I believe that there is a maximum amount of time that it will listen and then stop listening after a while. I forgot how long it is.
it should be like something like half.
Excuse me?
You should do it like a trick away and not unusual way. I mean,
Yeah, you can just start it when your website starts, when your JavaScript file starts to run, and you can make it start listening from the beginning. But after a while, it will just stop listening because there is a maximum amount of time that it allows you, the browser API, to listen to something. It used to be 30 seconds, I think it's more, maybe it's even gone the limits, but I'm not sure about that.
But is it really cool if you can, for example, just talk and you can take some phrases and interact on it somehow?
Yeah, it's important to know that this API only works over HTTPS, so you need some secure connection, and then it also prompts the user to ask if it can use your microphone, of course, otherwise you could start listening in the background and do everything somebody says, which would be some privacy issue. But once you have HTTPS, the user agrees to let you listen to the microphone, you can do whatever you want with it. You can make it listen to voice commands continuously until you've reached the limit that the browser sets on you.
Thank you.
Hello, about push notifications, you need server, please.
You need a push server. I'm using Firebase for this.
You can use server yourself, or
yes,
Google,
you can.
Firefox can provide some.
I think Firefox also might provide one. Firebase is from Google. You have Urban Airship, maybe it's called.
There are some links for you to just configure everything.
Basically, you get a subscription from your service worker. You send that subscription to your push server, which is an ID, and then based on that ID, you can send a push notification to the browser. And I think most push API push service will.
So you can do this without Google or Firefox servers.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for awesome presentation. I have a question about what if I don't want to my browser knows about where am I and
good question. When your website wants to use the geolocation API, it's also going to ask the user, can this website use the geolocation API? If you say no, the website cannot use your data because it will not get your data. All these APIs, which might be privacy sensitive, first ask the user about permission, and if you get a permission, they will start doing their thing.
One more question?
Hi, first of all, thank you for your awesome presentation. Have actually three questions. First question is about speech recognition API. I had a problem with detection which languages currently our browser support to translate. How can I detect what language my browser actually supports?
It's just an object you get back, so you can just look over it and see which languages are available. If we go back to the voice recognition API.
Hi, that's James. Did you know
Sorry,
the
don't
browser could
talk
talk?
again.
Cool. The web speech API converts text to spoken words. You can't even choose my voice.
Was it about the speech or the speech recognition?
Speech recognition, because your browser does not support it, it uses
This is better.
system
Don't you think?
API.
So you have the recognition instance, and no, you cannot. You have to check someplace else. I'm not sure how you can detect that.
The second question it was about Web Bluetooth API and WebUSB API. What are currently support status of the technologies?
Excuse me, which API?
The Web Bluetooth API and WebUSB API. What?
The Web Bluetooth API.
Yes.
I didn't talk about that, but it's a good question because that's a really cool API. It just lets your browser communicate to some Bluetooth beacons, for example. And you want to know which browser supports this?
Yes, what currently status support? Previously it was at Chrome under flag.
It's not under flag anymore in Chrome. That I know. I think it works in Firefox, and the best thing to do is check can I use or check the NVM docs. They usually have an up-to-date table of the browser support, but I cannot answer that question for you.
And last question, what else, what other technologies are going to be implemented? Maybe fingerprint support or something like that. Maybe no.
The fingerprints, I don't think so. It might be, but there first needs to be a draft of an API, which is a lot of work. You can always check the user groups who make these APIs. They always publish their work and their new future APIs. It's the W3C or the Web A user group or WAG, I don't know how to pronounce it. So yeah, they announce their upcoming APIs and let people give feedback to it on GitHub. They can tweet the link about these things later if you want it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam. That was a really great talk.
Okay.
So I think we are ready for a break right now. The next talk here will be in Russian. So please come back after the coffee break, and right now we'll have a coffee break.